Todd come over for the sports, and he'll probably use that microphone first before we get to you, and then I'll just call you over.
And it is Friday morning, and you know, Evan, the sun's up, or coming up.
I know.
Which
we've made it.
Yeah, better than it was last time you were here.
Yeah, it's a kind of hard reset.
Yes.
It was starting to work out, and then we jumped backwards or forwards or something.
Yeah, and then you took enough time off from hosting the show that next time you came back, the sun's out, and we got Todd with us here this morning too.
It was a requirement. I wasn't coming back until it was.
Sun's out?
Yeah.
Well, sun's not out yet, though.
Well, but it's better than it was the last time he was here.
We see the signs.
Dark out.
It's not zero dark, right?
No.
No. Thank goodness.
We're glad, Todd, thank you for helping me this morning.
No problem. I'm happy to be here.
We were expecting to talk a little bit about IU basketball this morning since Tanner's not here. And,
yes.
Dick's not here.
He did not include it in the sports, but I have something in my mind.
Me too. I put IU basketball updates on here.
Okay.
Because I knew you'd be game for it.
Yeah.
And I knew Paul wouldn't kick us out, so.
Yeah.
I do have one Purdue update I can give.
Oh, okay. We'll at least make Tanner a little bit happy as he rewatches this later
Maybe
today.
it's a transfer away.
It is, actually. We're going to talk about the transfer portal.
Oh, that's evil. Okay. Well, we've got a great guest this morning. We're going to be interviewing, again, Andrea Stineback, the director of the Fulton County Public Library, and get an update on everything the library is doing right now. That is a real hub for the community, so
yes,
it'll be fun to talk to her a little bit and get some new information. And she just told me it's National Library Week.
Yes, it is. We had that Monday morning in our Trading Post segments when we do our national days.
Sorry, I missed that.
That's a much better day than the days we're going to talk about.
I haven't even looked yet.
Library Month is that's an awesome thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. First, a couple of quick news items.
Okay.
President Biden plans to announce he's moving the deadlines for states to make all adults eligible for the vaccine to April 19th. It's just coming right up.
Yes, it is. Just over a week away.
And this is, maybe this is stale, but according to Indiana health officials, nearly 25% of residents 16 and older are vaccinated.
That's still current. Yeah.
Okay. That's a pretty good number.
25.3 is what I saw yesterday.
Okay. It's a good number. I saw yesterday that Amazon's opening its first fresh grocery stores on the East Coast. They've had a few on the West Coast and in the Chicago suburbs. You guys ever been to one of those?
Been to Whole Foods, and they took over Whole Foods, right?
They did a few years ago.
Not a fresh grocery store.
Okay, this is their own branded grocery store that has some of the pay conveniences as those quick little go stores that they had launched. So now they're going to have...
And go, yeah.
Yes, and without pay. Well, not without paying, but you know what I mean. Cashierless.
Without human interaction.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think they have some of those capabilities, but these will be over in Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Maryland type of area. So I think they're planning on continuing to open these. I'm sure that's a disruptive threat to the grocery store industry.
Sure it is.
Absolutely.
Local hometown grocers.
It's like you hate it when Amazon starts focusing on your area. They got a lot of size. Okay, trivia is book related this morning. What was the top selling nonfiction book in 2020? A Promised Land by Barack Obama. I should say former President Barack Obama. B Becoming by former First Lady Michelle Obama. C Green Lights by actor Matthew McConaughey. Or D The Answer Is Reflections on My Life by Alex Trebek.
That's a tough question because at
is.
least
Those
three
are
of
all
those
good.
are pretty current right
Yeah.
now. I did listen to the Audible book with Alex Trebek on a recent road trip we had.
And was it good?
Yeah, it was.
It sounds interesting to me.
It's kind of like he'd ask a question and the answer is, and he'd answer, or actually Ken Jennings would ask the question and Alex would answer the question. And it's pretty good, just a little snippets of what his life in Jeopardy was about.
It's a long road. How
That's
many
not
years?
a clue though, okay?
That's Todd's trivia question.
Yeah.
Answer at your own peril.
So now you're putting me on the spot.
Yeah, I'm sure he said how many years he hosted Jeopardy on that
I
audio.
don't know for sure, but I'm thinking 34 maybe?
When you say it with confidence, we believe.
See, I would go look, but then, I might accent.
We don't have time for that. Yeah, we don't have time for that.
It was a great way to spend 6 hours on the road, actually. Listening to
Good.
Good.
Okay, let's switch to sports. You got some updates for us?
The sports. Rochester football has a new head coach. Hopefully get approved by the board, the school board later this month. But Ron Schaefer has been named the new head football coach at Rochester High.
Oh, congrats to Ron.
He was an assistant on the staff last year and has a history in the local area of coaching some other high school football programs too.
Great.
So great experience. So that'll be good news for Rochester. Got a new coach coming in and see how that goes. Comes out.
That's good.
NCAA basketball. Either of you watched the NCAA basketball tournament over the weekend?
I did watch a couple of the a little bit of both Final Four games, but
So did
I didn't watch the championship game.
Championship game. Baylor beat Gonzaga 86-70 to win the men's national championship. On the women's side, Stanford beat Arizona 54-53 to win the women's national championship. I watched a little bit of all those games. It was really good basketball. It was pretty entertaining. Usually, if IU's not in it, we don't have a dog in the fight, so I don't have much interest. But,
Yeah.
but these were exciting games, and hopefully Purdue and Indiana and Notre Dame can aspire to playing that well. Maybe
Ball
next
State,
year.
Indiana State,
Yeah,
Butler,
Evansville, I would get
Evansville,
everybody in there.
Valpo. One year I think we had 8 schools in
That is right. I
a
do
long
recall
time
that.
ago.
I think Indiana did shine pretty well in the national news media with how they handled the NCAA men's tournament with all the
Agreed.
games being in Indianapolis. So that's good for Indiana too.
Yeah, I think they did a really nice job. That reflects well on all of us Hoosiers.
Speaking of IU basketball update, since you asked, their new coach Mike Woodson is bringing back some of the players that were in the transfer portal. The transfer portal is kind of a crazy new thing the last couple of years.
Yes, it's probably brought on because it used to be the last couple of years graduates didn't have to sit out a year, so they needed some system for organizing all the players that might switch teams.
So IU has lost somebody, Armand Franklin. He's going to UVA, the Cavaliers.
He was pretty talented. That's
He's
too
a
bad.
good talent, but that's going to be a great program for him.
Yeah,
Good coach with Tony Bennett there.
right.
And then Trace Jackson Davis never actually entered the transfer portal, but there was thinking he might go to the NBA. He's coming back.
That's good.
Heard that several other players are coming back, including Race Thompson. News as of yesterday.
Awesome. They needed a little more size.
Right.
He's improved a little bit each year, it seemed
Yeah,
like.
he has. A couple other freshmen are coming back. I know that. Also, they picked up a transfer also from University of Pittsburgh guard. I think Xavier Simpson, maybe. I might not have their last name right.
I'm going to be Johnson.
Johnson, okay. And then they have another transfer named Parker that came from West Virginia during the middle of the year that didn't play. So the look of basketball teams is going to change quickly next year because there's 1,000 players in the transfer portal.
Oh my gosh, that's
Wow.
crazy.
I know that Purdue's lost one, Aaron Wheeler, so but it's a way for a team to quickly rebuild. I'm not sure I like it because of the kind of the one and done almost type thing, and people
Yeah.
can move on if they're not happy if they didn't get enough playing time. But
It's like the things we don't like about the pro leagues, the free agency and players changing teams and oh well.
also, the Masters began yesterday.
Yeah.
Masters is great for HDTVs. If you ever need to buy an HDTV, you need to look at a golf match. I went home last night after work and watching it, and that's the greenest grass I've ever seen.
It is beautiful down
Yes.
Kind of what your yard looks like, Paul, right?
No.
there.
Almost, right? And the azaleas. Justin Rose is leading that with 7 shots under par. He's got a 4-stroke lead over. There's about 5 or 6 people in the 3 under and 2 under range,
Okay.
but he's got a pretty good lead going into the first day. And there's not really, other than Justin Rose, too many big names at the top right now. But
Is there a track record of the first round leader continuing on to win, or do you know that?
you have too many expectations. of that.
Evaluating.
I'll say that.
Just say it with confidence.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It depends who it is.
Yeah, that's true.
It's minus Tiger this year, so that usually is a big draw for.
What I like about first and second round is usually, or maybe this is always, but the people that tee off early one day, tee off later the next day.
Right.
Sometimes that can change the conditions.
I did hear that when I was watching some highlights last night. That like 7 or 8 of the last 10 champions teed off early on the first day, then teed off late on the second day.
Okay.
Justin Rose was kind of a midday yesterday. He's going to early this morning, like 9:30.
So he's not going to win.
So they said that's something that has that's not following the tradition.
Interesting. Thank you, Todd. That brought a lot of insight to us.
Tanner's tidbits. Tanner always wants to contribute, and he does a great job of this. In 1913, the Brooklyn Dodgers Ebbets Field opened.
Is Ebbets Field in your favorite movie?
No, I don't think it is. Talking about
I can't think of the name.
Field of Dreams.
I'm on the spot too
Field of
much here.
Dreams.
Field of Dreams.
Put myself on the spot. I couldn't think
Yeah,
of it.
Field of Dreams. No, it's not. But there are
Okay.
probably some players from there. Because
Okay, I
they
thought
bring all those old guys come back out of the cornfield.
I watched that for the first time over COVID pandemic
Oh,
break.
good. I'm glad you had a chance to get it.
Yes, it's an
Did I
interesting movie.
oversell it?
I wasn't sure if I loved it after I watched it, but then I kept thinking about it for a long time, so I think I did really enjoy it.
It's kind of an annual Father's Day thing that I kind of watch sometime around Father's Day, and it's a
And
good
you
movie.
guys are big into baseball,
Yeah,
right?
big in baseball.
I can understand that. I was pretty entertained. Kevin Costner's a really good actor.
Notice we're not talking about the Indians or the Cubs today, too.
Yeah.
No,
They were off yesterday.
I
That's
think maybe
nice.
the Cubs were too. Even I don't know.
Yeah, today we played Detroit. I do know that the entire club has now been vaccinated for Cleveland.
That's good.
I hate that.
They split it up into their 2 days off.
Could be some nice continuity for the team.
Yes.
Another tidbit from Tanner: in 1967, the first Boeing 737 rolled out for use. That's
Really?
kind of the mainstay of a lot of airlines
I
right
think
now.
it is the
Yeah.
main.
Yeah, the main model type.
Yeah. I
So
don't
that's
know.
pretty interesting. It's that old.
I don't know if I've been in a bigger one than that actually. 'Cause that's the typical size, I think.
Yeah. Next up would be the 747. They have this like 767s and
The Dreamliner, or
yeah,
the
something
big,
like that.
the big
yeah.
boy.
Also, on this day in 2009, the show Parks and Rec debuted on NBC.
Mm.
Based in what town in Indiana?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Pawnee. Yeah, that's very good. Thank you, Andrea. That's
At least
very
somebody
good.
watches it.
Yeah,
There's the trivia question, Tanner.
which
That
is a
was
fictional,
Stump Paul.
which is a fictional town, I think.
It is.
Yeah.
It sounds real though.
It's supposed to be based off some other town, I think. Do you know which town it's?
I think it's based off of Muncie and Yorktown
I
because
think you're
Pawnee has a
Yorktown.
like a town that's like little.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Fire
You
codes.
recall that.
I only know of one fictional town in Indiana, and that's Hawkins. So.
Is that from Stranger Things?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, right.
On this day in 2012, Lion King became the highest-grossing Broadway show after overtaking Phantom of the Opera.
I'm surprised by that. But I've not seen it. So.
I was kind of surprised too. I thought
I've
maybe
not seen
Wicked
either one
might
of
be
those.
up there and some other things too.
Yeah, there's a lot of big
Mhm.
Broadway shows over the years.
I didn't do any fact checking on this, so.
Tanner?
So
No.
She's better
Tanner
be
does a great
accurate,
job
Tanner.
on it, so
Just
we
say-
trust Tanner implicitly.
Say it with confidence. No one's fact checking.
You know today's Unicorn Day?
No, that's great. You can get that backpack back up.
Yeah.
Oh.
That unicorn backpack that I've got hidden away somewhere in the closet.
Do you know what you call a group of unicorn? This is a great trivia question. I've had this before in trivia
Oh, jeez.
contests.
I have no clue.
Fantasy?
That's the right answer, really. But it's a blessing.
Okay, that would make sense.
Don't know why.
A
but it's
blessing.
a blessing, yeah. Also, it's National Winston Churchill Day.
Oh, that's good.
I'll do my Winston Churchill impression during the Trading Post later today.
I did do a little fact
I will
checking
listen
there
for that.
because I was wondering why it was Winston Churchill Day. Well, he was the first honorary first person made an honorary U.S. citizen by John F. Kennedy in April 9th, 1963.
Oh,
So he
okay.
was the Prime Minister of Britain during World War II.
A good ally during World War II.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also,
Did you
it's-
ever watch The Darkest Day? Is that what it was called?
yeah, that's about D-Day, right?
Well, it was about him.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't.
It's
It was an
interesting.
Academy Award-winning movie.
I think it was,
Yeah.
yeah, just a few years ago. It was
Yeah.
pretty good.
Maybe that's something I can do this weekend. It's
All
supposed to be a little bit rainy this weekend.
That's right,
Yes, it is.
yeah. Get a
It's
list
also-
going.
It's also Name Yourself Day. I like my name, so I'm not going to change it.
P. Diddy likes this
Pete
day.
did.
Yeah, because I mean, I think he got about a mile-long list of names he's used in the past.
Yeah, it's
And that's-
rotated.
That could maybe be another show, you know, what would be your rap name, you know?
Oh.
Consider that for next week.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd be interested to hear what
Those
you
are Taylor
come up
Snippets
with.
for
P
him.
Jazzy has the Z's in it for Paul.
No.
No?
No.
Okay. All right, we'll move on.
We'll think of one
Thank
for
you, Todd.
We'll think of one for you, Paul, maybe for next time.
Gotta keep this show moving. We're grinding to a halt.
Ed is waiting over there
Like the
about
Titanic.
the library.
Okay, we do have a couple upcoming events I wanted to mention. The Rochester Rotary Club's having their annual Fish Fry tonight from 4:30 to 7 at St. Joseph's Catholic Church Hall. Drive-through, carry-out only. Tickets are $10 in advance, if you can find someone to sell you some, or $12 at the door. And the proceeds will help support their nurses' scholarship programs. That's a great cause. And you can contact any Rotarian that you might know for the advance tickets. Also, the annual Fulton County 4-H Fish and Tenderloin Fry is tomorrow from 4 to 7 at the Fulton County Fairgrounds. So you don't even have to cook this weekend.
I know.
You heard what I'm saying?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. The Fulton County, there's a lot of food updates right now. Is anyone else hungry? The Fulton County Historical Society is holding an all-you-can-eat biscuits and gravy. That sounds good. Scrambled eggs, hash browns, pancakes, sausage patties, ham, fruit, and drinks tomorrow morning from 7 to 11 a.m. That's at the museum, and all proceeds are going to the Historical Society's operating fund.
So breakfast, or dinner tonight, breakfast tomorrow, and dinner tomorrow.
That's right.
All taken care of.
Yep, taken care of. Now, the Historical Society, they weren't able to have some of their full
Right.
events last year, so this would be probably a pretty critical fundraiser for them, so it'd be great if you had a chance to get out there. Also, Rochester High School's Triathlon Club is presenting Shrek the Musical on April 16th and 17th. Tickets are $8. Tickets will be sold online, and masks are required, but you do get to go see a live musical. That's something none of us can say we've done recently, probably.
No.
And the Food Finders Food Bank Mobile Pantry is going to be back next Tuesday, which distributes food and essential items to people in need in our area. It's drive-through at the Mill Creek Church parking lot, and that'll be at 1 p.m. on Tuesday. So, great opportunity for our local residents that may have some needs. The money markets. You asked me about this earlier, Paul. Or maybe you didn't. I'm going to tell you anyway. They've been hitting record highs recently.
Yes. Except everything I've invested in, that seems to be
Sorry about that.
Ah.
Well, I think it's probably because the federal government's continuing to supply some money to stimulate the economy, and I think that's causing some of the markets to feel pretty optimistic. But all three markets, the main ones, S&P, Dow, and NASDAQ, are coming off their fourth straight quarter of gaining on the index. So, pretty good. As well, we've had some strong economic data around the country and showing that the economy is swiftly recovering, and that would probably due mostly to vaccines allowing things to open up more. So that should continue for a while too. So that's probably having an effect on the markets. And the services and manufacturing indices both hit their record highs recently as well.
Awesome.
And I think the last high was like 2018 on one of those. So
Wow.
some great signs. So if you're looking for optimism,
There you go.
you just found it here on the First Federal Radio program. You interested in an electric Hummer? Does that sound kind of like?
No.
Okay. Well, it cost you about $100,000.
Yeah.
It may be coming out in a couple of years. There's a lot of electric SUV and heavy duty things coming out. So
Ah.
I think that means the technology's gotten a little bit better.
I think so.
You can push something big uphill now.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing, really, if you think about it. And Topps baseball card company is going public again.
Ooh.
$1.3 billion evaluation.
Okay.
It's valuation, sorry.
Yeah.
So, you got some old Topps cards, do you?
Todd.
Todd?
A few, not as many as my
I
mom
got
probably got rid of them when they moved out.
I got a full set for one of my birthdays.
That's cool.
I still have.
Nice.
It's just taking up.
Might
I'm
be a
sure
valuable rookie card in there.
Emily would probably enjoy getting rid of that. So.
Oh yeah.
Taking up space somewhere. Well, we're going to skip the first federal section because we've had such a delight talking about these other subjects this morning, because we want to have some time for the Fulton County Public Library. As I mentioned, we are joined by Andrea Stineback. Welcome again.
Yeah, good morning.
I think we enjoyed talking with you prior to pandemic land last year, maybe.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think it was January of last year, so that was right before COVID hit.
Yeah, we didn't know what was happening yet, so that was nice to be blissful like that.
Yeah, that was, before everything changed.
Well, maybe things are changing back.
Slowly but surely,
Yeah.
yes, they are starting to change back.
That's great. Well, in case we have some listeners that aren't familiar with you, would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm Andrea Stineback. I'm the director of Fulton County Public Library. I've worked at the Fulton County Public Library for, going on 13 years? 14? I think going on 14 years, actually.
That's longer than I've been at First Federal.
Yeah.
That's a good record. That's how I measure everything, by the way.
Well, I wasn't always a director. I started,
Well, how long have you been the director, Andrea?
I was put in as interim in 2016 and made the official director in 2017. So, yeah, and speaking of IU, I have 2 degrees from IU, so...
Hey,
go
this is
Cougars.
a perfect show for Tanner to skip.
I know, yeah, I really kind of was, so...
I'm like the lone dog here now.
Sorry, Paul. Actually, I didn't go to IU either. I'm just.
Oh, okay.
My parents did, so that,
Oh, okay.
does that count? I don't know if it does, actually.
My granddad did. Does that count?
Yes, it does. In my book, it does.
Okay.
I think it
I have
counts.
loose rules on that. So.
Okay.
Okay, I'm interested in talking just a little bit about operating a library.
Yes.
It's a big organization with a lot of moving parts.
It really is. I don't think people realize how big it really is. Because you just see the circulation people, you don't see everybody
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
Well, I just want to go look at books,
Yeah.
in there and maybe check some out, but I don't really walk around and investigate what all's going
Well,
on.
understandable.
How many people work at the public library here in Fulton County?
Let's see.
I know we have multiple locations, so you can tell us about that too.
Well, we do. We have 3 branches. The main branch is in Rochester, and we have a branch in Lighters Ford, the Aubie branch, and we have one in Fulton. Let's see. We're under 50 people. Our numbers fluctuate a little bit.
That's
but
still a lot of people.
it's a lot of people, yes.
You're in charge of all of them.
I am, yeah. I mean, we have department heads who, are in charge of their departments, but yeah, I'm the overall person, so.
What are some of those departments, if you don't mind us asking? Just to
We have technical services, which is cataloging. They're the ones that,
get things put correctly labeled and put
Yes.
in the right spots.
they put it in our catalog so you can find it easily.
That's good.
They put the labels on so you can find them in the stacks. They're pretty important. Without them, you wouldn't be able to find your stuff. So, we have the AV department. They're the ones that they order the DVDs, audiobooks, all that good stuff, and they also do our transits, which we're part of Evergreen.
Oh, right.
So that means we have a lot of transits because Evergreen's a consortium.
We've
so.
used Evergreen a few times to get what we needed.
Yes, it
That
is
worked
very
well.
helpful.
Yes.
And it helps us because we don't have to buy every book that people want. We can, get one from another library and you'll have it within, a week or 2. So,
That's neat.
yes, it's really awesome. I'm a big proponent of Evergreen, and actually Kiwanis and Akron, their libraries are part of Evergreen too. So, if you have a library card with them, you can come to our libraries and check our stuff out too. So,
Really? I
Yes.
didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, a lot of the libraries around here are part of Evergreen. I think Culver is too.
I didn't realize you could go to that library and use your card for
Yes.
your home library.
Yes, you can.
Oh, that's really neat.
And then do you have to return the book to the same
No,
library?
you can return it to our
This is
library.
really.
There you go.
This is really something.
I know that this is something I just know. Yeah, I think everybody.
Sounds
knows.
like a road trip for the Gottschalk family.
That's right. We need a new space to investigate.
Well, there's over, I think, 125 libraries in Evergreen. So if go on a road trip.
The other libraries you mentioned in our county are a nice library. I have been in both of those, and those are nice as well. So that's cool that we got some partnerships like that here.
Yes.
Okay, what other departments? This is really good for us.
Let's see. Well, we got the reference and adult services. They do, the reference. People have questions. Beth Miller, she's our person. She answers the questions. She also orders the adult books, nonfiction, fiction. She also is the main person who leads the nonfiction and fiction collection. So
Did she do the children's area also, or is that done by the children's department?
that's done by the children's
Okay.
department. So
Weeding, that sounds like a interesting job. Is that technical, or is that kind of gut feel?
a little bit of both. But we can get a list of items that haven't circed in,
Oh, that makes sense.
different numbers of years. So if it hasn't circed in 5 years,
You cycle it out.
unless it's something, because there are books that we, classics that we have to have. So
Right.
it might not circulate, but we kind of have to have it in our.
Do you have a
collection.
master list of the classics that you have to have? I'm curious about that.
We don't have a master list.
You just know what they are because you guys are librarians. That makes sense.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
Yeah, it was on the test.
Yeah.
All the knowledge. Is
That's right.
up in there.
That is interesting. Well, I've tried to read a classic here or there.
Yeah. I like some of the classics.
My daughter Jane's reading The Secret Garden right now. And
Oh,
I watched
okay.
that movie when I was a kid, so I might try to read it.
Yeah, I never read it. So.
Okay, I'll share that with you next year when we
Okay,
have you on.
perfect, yeah.
Okay, weeding books. That's interesting. Now, where do the books go that get weeded?
Well, it depends
Right.
on
Weeded.
it depends on their condition because some books they're kind of beat up and they're
Yeah.
just
They don't look good anymore.
no, and nobody will really want them, so we recycle those. But the ones that are in good condition, we put in the Friends book sales. So
Okay.
Tables of books in the entrance or outside the library. Were those book sales ever outside the library?
I think years ago they were. But
That's a
we,
good deal.
We were having them in the meeting room, but with COVID, we
What
haven't
might-
had one in a
What
while.
might be a typical price on a book that the Friends might sell for you?
Like, I don't know, 25 cents. At some point we were,
That's neat.
well, at one point we were doing bags where, you just put books in a bag and pay $2 for a bag.
It's really the idea is to get them out.
Yes.
That's
And make a
neat.
little bit of money.
Do you need volunteers? Do the Friends need volunteers for that project?
Yes.
If they're doing it?
Well, the friends haven't met in a while due to COVID, but, once,
That might be changing soon.
hopefully, I'm hopeful. That would be nice to have a book sale. But we are selling books. We have carts of books in the hallway, so if you are interested in looking through the books and purchasing some, they are there.
Any restrictions on coming into the library now?
Let's see. Masks are advised, but
Okay.
they're not mandatory. And we would like people to social distance.
Okay. Are there any capacity limitations beyond normal ones?
No, we haven't
Okay.
needed them because
Yeah.
I think people. I don't even know if people know we're open.
They were making the announcement. The
Well, they
library is
should.
open.
They should know, but
And we may be in there to check out the books that need to
yeah, it's.
move on, because sometimes I bet you could find a gem in there.
Oh yeah, we have
So-
children's books, we have we have all kinds of books. So,
What's the limit on how many you can check out at once on a card?
well, if it's DVDs and Blu-ray, there's a combined total of 10, but a total amount
That's
on your
Todd's
card.
limit for this weekend. It's gonna be raining.
Well, the total amount on your card is 100 items.
Okay.
Wow.
We don't necessarily recommend that because you might
That's a
lose
lot of
them.
books.
That's
Yeah.
a lot of books to keep track of.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then you could buy some of the used ones, so you could really get over 100 because you
Mm-hmm.
at once.
It's true.
Okay. That may have blown some people's minds.
I guess. I just take this for granted that people know this stuff. So.
Okay, things are changing this year. We talked about vaccines and different
Yes.
things. There's really not much restriction to come into the library, so people should. So
Mhm.
what about plans this year for the library? Programs, plans, what's taking shape for you?
Well, we have. Well, this week you mentioned National Library Week, so we have signs available if you want to put one in your yard for the month of April. Please come in. We have a bunch left.
Those
so
look really nice. I have
They do
noticed
look
those
really
around the
nice.
community in the past.
I think they look pretty nice. And we have stickers too. If you want a sticker to put on your car or on your notebook or whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah.
Then we also, April's National Poetry Month. So we have a poet tree near the literacy department.
I heard Todd, when he's hosting the show next, is going to read some poetry.
Oh,
Ooh.
there you go.
You can do that. I might need some help finding the appropriate poetry.
You'll find it on the poet tree at the library.
Yeah.
There
Well,
we go.
yeah. And we have leaves that you can write a poem, or
That's interesting.
if you even want to write your favorite poem, that would be cool too. So
Neat.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Will there be a summer reading program?
There is going to be a summer reading program. It's probably not going to be as it's not gonna be one of our best ones where we,
But you're doing it.
we are. It's gonna be
That's
better
great.
than last year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's the new standard for everything.
It is. It
Andrea.
really is. So I mean, we're planning on hopefully doing some in-person programming, and that'll be nice to get people back in the library and doing some fun stuff. So
Well, thank you for surviving the pandemic. We're glad
Yeah.
the library's still here and
It
functioning
is.
well. And we've really enjoyed having you on this morning. We've been talking with Andrea Stineback, the director of the Fulton County Public Library. Thanks so much for what you do for our community as a central hub of information for us, and used to be socializing. You can do it
Yes.
still at a little bit of a distance, like everything else.
yes, we're getting back to
That's great.
normal, starting to put a little bit of furniture out here
Great.
and there. So
Well, thanks for everything that you do. We've really enjoyed having you again with us this morning.
yeah, thank you.
Okay, that trivia question,
Yeah.
I should have covered my answer here. Andrea, you may know this too. What was the top-selling nonfiction book in 2020? A, The Promised Land by Barack Obama. B, Becoming by Michelle Obama. C, Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. Or D, the answer is Reflections on My Life by Alex Trebek, read by Todd Vinsicle.
Andrea, you get to go first.
I don't know. That's a hard one.
I know.
Because I was thinking, Becoming, but I think that came out a year or two before that. I'm just gonna go with maybe the Barack Obama one.
Okay.
I don't know.
Paul,
I'm gonna second that choice.
that's the correct choice.
There we go.
Great
yeah.
deduction on that.
Thanks. Whatever it was, I was seconding it. It didn't matter. I had
Okay,
no
well,
clue.
let's end on some really nice words of wisdom to lead into the rainy movie weekend. This is by Wilford Peterson, who was an American author. I think he's no longer with us. See it big and keep it simple.
I like that. All right, well, we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Todd, for helping. Andrea,
Thanks,
thanks
Todd.
for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll see you Tuesday, Andrea.
Yeah, see you Tuesday.